All right. First game, guys. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Shock out there. Definitely shock and
I'm
excited.
super
All
ready.
right. Welcome. This is Encounter Roleplay. We are going to be playing Ravnica, the Unknown District. So, what have we got today? Who are you? Who are you? Okay, so many new characters. This is going to be so exciting. New campaign feels, right? We want to get that first roll out of the system? No, we got to get that suspense. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to jump right in because we've already done the intro and I've introduced all of you, but we will be introducing your characters in the very beginning of this episode. So,
Okay.
All right. Welcome. Your day has been sort of slow. You got a summons this morning from your guild contact within each of your guilds. Celestia, Grull. Who else do we have? We have Celestia, Grull.
Is that Simic?
Izette and Cynic, yes.
Yeah.
So, that's the one I was trying to remember. It's like, Izette, the wizard people, they're fun. They're fun. So, when your messengers arrived with a note saying that you needed to show up at the guild hall, usually that doesn't come as a surprise. Today it did. You were sitting around, and when your note arrived, you were sort of caught off guard, but it's kind of one of those things where it means something bad, right? It's like going to the detention, right? It's the principal's office. What'd you do this time? And, some of you, there's more leeway. I mean, Grull, they don't really disfavor the anarchy, right? So, it must have been really bad. You get there, and it's not your guild contact. There's an interesting individual standing before you. Your guild contacts are standing behind this individual. There's a... let me pull this up real quick. There is a Vidalcan robed figure, golden robes, standing before you. You would know that in the city of Ravnica, in fact, specifically in the 10th district, there are 10 guilds represented equally among their houses, and the guild halls are all centrally located here for political reasons. The Guild Pact is maintained and enforced from District 10. Some of you are from here, some of you have wandered in, or some of you have been recruited into the guilds and have moved here specifically to advance your career. Vidalcan fellow stands below you. You're sort of on like a stairway coming into it's almost church-like, stone pillars straight up in towards the ceiling, arching. The air is cool and chill. The air slightly green as it gets to the top of the room, with the copper that floats through the air in the 6th precinct. It's a heavy industrial zone. The Vidalcan strides slowly towards you and begins climbing the stairs, his hood cast down. And he looks up to you and stares you each in the face. His blue complexion and his broad nose, his deep, piercing eyes. Friends, it is with the utmost sadness that I must bring you here today. I must only assume that you do not know one another. I am Nasius Ven. I am the proctor of the Guild Pact. Jace Bellerin is yet again off gallivanting somewhere else in the cosmos. And here we are with yet one more guild conspiracy, conflict, whatever it might be that's behind the veil, trying to bring down something upon our poor city. and I must ask a task force to root it out so that there will be equality and equanimity in our decisions. Your contacts stand behind me. From the Azet League, we have Stumbleduck. This interesting looking fella, this little gnome with an enormous, just galvanic blaster hanging from his waist. It's just this bazooka-like tube with copper and wires hanging out of it, and it sort of gives off a pulsing glow out of the tip. And he looks over at you, sort of waves his head at you. Says, "Call me Dimble. That's Dimble, unless you want to meet the other end of this thing, Proctor. I do not appreciate your tone." He seems unperturbed. This individual, this Vidalkin, stares next to the two Celestia in the group. We have Katrun and Samwise of the Celestia.
Suniva.
I'm sorry, clerical error. I'm sure you can understand.
Oh, that's okay. It happens.
We have Fawn. From behind him, you see a black Pegasus throw its wings straight up into the air and raise one leg. And on the back sits this slight female wood elf of dark hair and darker eyes. She looks at you each. She's heard of you, perhaps not dealt with you previously, but recognizes you as new initiates that have most recently joined the guild. Nasius turns lastly to Cyrus, and he says, "The Simic Combine is suspected to be at the root of this. Not that I wish to cast any doubt upon any of these specific guilds, but there is an unnerving presence within this, as well as the Golgari. You get me? Do not misunderstand. But there must be a fair investigation. I will trust that you will not impose your guild's own interest over that of the Guild Pact and that of Ravnica."
Be as fair and balanced as the dice.
Yes. And they all do hang in the balance, do they not? From the Civic Combine, we have Halamar. From behind him, across the room, stands another Vidalkin hybrid. Enormous tentacles come from his shoulders. They are copper and green, almost as if they are tarnished with verdigris. He has a clipboard and an oddly constructed lab coat that bulges out awkwardly at the back. The tentacles seem to pop their suckers against one another behind his back, fidgeting almost nervously. He nods his head at you. There have been a recent outbreak of disappearances in District 6, which is why you lot have been chosen for this. You know this ground. You know the dangers, and I trust you to ferret out exactly what conspires beneath. Over the course of the last several weeks, there have been many more murders in Midori Park. You would know that Midori Park is the westernmost portion of District 6 and is mostly warehousing. However, it is a dark, gang war contested area, but also more notoriously, the residents don't really venture out after dark for the fear of being killed, eaten, disappeared, what have you. It just seems to be, some people live on a freeway, right? And they don't play in their front yard. This is the neighborhood you don't go after dark.
Sounds about right.
There's a neighborhood like that around where I live. I don't live there, but there's one of those that I don't go there.
Oh yeah, do people go missing there where you are from?
Oh, not that often, but it happens.
Yes.
You
Pardon-
said
pardon-
that's...
Pardon me for interrupting. Was there a representative from the Groll?
There is. Behind me stands Stixel. She is a druid of the old ways. She does not speak much, but when she does, mind that you listen. There's a short goblin, rather rotund. She's almost as wide as she is tall, and she seems very happy, actually. But she doesn't say anything. She just smiles her jagged tooth grin and sort of begins to blush a little. And then sort of turns away. Each of you should make your acquaintances with the group, as you will be reporting back to them with your findings. I will step out of this assembly and let you begin on your journey. This will prove yourself to your guild, or it will prove you unworthy of your guild. Prove yourselves. Thank you for your attendance today. And he makes his way up between the lot of you and out the door behind you. And standing in front of you is this motley-looking group of people who don't want to be next to one another. So you should introduce yourselves, tell us about your characters. How do you appear?
Okay.
What's your demeanor?
Who would like to go first?
I mean, Jimmy, you're the top here.
On the line.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll just go across the top and then across the bottom.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay. So you see a 3-foot-tall goblin with a ginger mohawk, a face full of piercings. So you've got like ear piercings, you've got like some on different parts of the nose, you've got a good like sternum piercing, you've got a few lip ones here and there. He's wearing a leather vest, kind of like motorcycle jacket, is the way of putting it. He's got bright red tartan pants, as the Americans would say, or trousers if you're British and like me. As well as these like thick kind of workman's boots, which are very much like Doc Martens. He's wearing fingerless gloves, and he is holding in his hand a very, very beaten up metal lute. And he kind of just raises his hand and is like, "Oh, hello there. Pleasure to meet you. The name's Strum. And you are?"
Standing next to him is a 7.5 foot tall Loxodon, for those not familiar, elephant person. She has very worn gray skin, and it's kind of folded into itself, as texture happens. The skin almost kind of blends into the arms of her sleeves, as you can see that she's definitely been digging in the dirt. her cloak and robes are kind of mottled colors, not only from dirt and earth, from dyes as well. It looks like she's got brush strokes all over where her knees are and around her arms and stuff like that. She carries a gnarled oak, almost looks like a big tree branch, but it's got oyster mushrooms climbing up the sides and bulbing around the top. And she looks down and she says, "Oh, well, hello. I'm Katrin. Nice to meet you as well. I'm from the Celestia Guild. The Conclave. I'm sorry, I misspoke. I'm from Celestia Conclave, and it's nice to meet you."
I should say I'm
Black
from
Pegasus clops its hooves down and stands proud and like shakes its head at you.
It's like I'm actually from Izzet. Yeah.
Dimble sort of looks down at his blaster. Yes, I'm sure you are.
I like your blaster.
Yes.
All right. So, I suppose next in line here, Cyrus Elsvolt. He wears a gray gambler cap and a long dark blue coat. He has a wide brown leather belt with a bunch of slots in it that hold little glass vials. He wears a deep, like wine-colored red or wine-colored leather paisley vest, and has a nice gray shirt on underneath it. The most interesting thing about him is that his pants don't go all the way down to his ankles. They taper off and get tied off about mid-calf, because where his boots and accoutrements should be are large ape-like hands that function as his feet. So he has been spliced in some way, shape, or form with some sort of ape-like creature. Other than that, he carries a rapier on his belt. He has kind of goldish eyes as a result of the dark vision gifted to him by the Simic Combine, and he has a kind of thin mustache across his lip. And he looks across at everyone and nods and goes, "Well, I feel a bit under the blade already here with the Combine being so scrutinized, but we'll do some investigating, I think."
The Vidalkin named Halimar across the way looks at you and tilts his head. "What an odd creation you are. Which clade are you from?"
I actually don't know that answer.
Even as an avid Magic player, I can only name one clade.
Very excited.
I am not an average Magic player, so I don't know.
I just only know one of them.
Do we have a list, and is there one that drinks ample amounts of hard liquor? Is there one of those?
So
only one I know.
A clade is run by a researcher within the conclave. You are free to make one up. I will say that it is normal among the Simic to actually use more aquatic hybrids, and so your appendages being ape-like hands is definitely something that's not common. But it is definitely something that's going to be fun and interesting and meets the class creation specifications, which is exactly right. So, I love it.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So, a clade being like a section of research or something for the Combine?
Yes, it's sort of like a laboratory, and a clade spans cities, or spans districts. Okay. So, there are 9 Zonots within the Simic Conclave, or Simic Combine, excuse me. And they are sort of each headed by their own head researcher, and then they have different subsects, different projects for each of them that they work on. And those overseers are the head researchers of each clade, sort of form an elder council among the Simic Combine. So asking which clade you came from doesn't necessarily refer to which district you came from, but which branch of research you came from.
Ah, okay. Well, we mostly focus on potions, potion making, and I have a penchant for a little bit of acid here and there. So if I wanted to name the clade, would I do that, or is there like a specific one for that?
We'll fill it in between episodes. That sounds like a great project,
cool.
like backstory thing to invent a line of research that involves all of these different potions and alcoholism and your extra drinking hands.
This is starting to sound a lot more Zet than Simic. all these
they're both
crazy
research
potions
groups,
and alcohol.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
So I guess it's
I mean,
me.
alcohol is from nature, right? So, you know.
It's just a fermented potion with the right
it's just
enzymes
fermented
in it.
berries. And... Yeah, it's fine.
Science experiment. All right,
Yeah.
Nat.
They let the juice sit too long.
Alright, so Malachar Wildeburn has a complex, mostly blue with accents of red, semi-mechanical clothing set. With the largest thing is he has a large mechanical backpack which comes strapped across his chest, and comes with a large circular buckle that, when it claps together, makes the Azet guild symbol, which is like a dragon. It's pretty cool. He has a crossbow in there that like whirs a little bit, and a staff which is mostly metal parts welded together haphazardly. His hair he's slightly middle-aged. His hair's graying in places and all crazy up in weird angles. It looks like he's been electrocuted today already. His beard short but unkept in weird directions, and he's my name's Malachar Wildeburn. People call me an eccentric. I like to call myself a researcher, personally. I'm part of the Izet League, and I'm just very interested in all the little toys and gadgets that we can explore together.
I don't think we've ever met before.
Pats his galvanic blaster.
I think I've heard of you, Strum.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Weren't you working on the thing, the amplification? I like to keep track of explosions nearby. They're my favorite.
Yes. A lot of explosions.
Malachar, is it?
Yes, Malachar.
Malachar. Yes, that is not what Niv Mizzet called you. I'll have my eye on you.
Just because our guild leader has had
Right.
1 or 3 negative interactions with me doesn't mean that I don't do good research. I just happen to like the research that involves things that go boom.
Yes, well, that was a rather expensive laboratory, and it's a good thing it was not on guild premises.
I apologized profusely,
Yes.
and then I did it again.
Hello, my name is Suniva. I am with the Celestia Conclave, and standing before you is a rather short half-elf. They're just over 5 feet tall. They've got a brown skin. It's been very deeply tanned by the sun-bleached, yellow-white blonde hair that's back in a long braided ponytail. And they've got just like splattering like of freckles all over their like face and neck and shoulders. They're wearing a really simple but comfortable leaf green, like wrapped tunic that's got a darker green sash around the waist and flowing long white linen pants. Really simple sandals. Their feet are just like filthy. Clearly just from like traipsing around throughout the city with mostly bare feet. And they have a big spear just chilling, like hanging from their back. And they're just smiling at you all. Hello, it's very exciting to meet all of you.
Charmed.
Yes. It is good to see you, Suniva. I have heard much from the Enclave head, the Dryad. Enclave head has spoken well of you. I am very encouraged. And
Oh, thank you. That means a lot to hear. Oh,
that's sweet. Do not let her down.
I will do my best. I always do.
Okay, so next to her is a 6'7", 6'9", in that area, depending on if she's slouching, centaur. She's gigantic, she's buff, she's beautiful, she's got tan skin, a really simple top, just like a woven top, and some tattoos that go across her chest, just like along her arms. And she's got this mane of hair that she's done the undercut of so it gets out of her face, but she's braided it all back, and then it runs all the way down her back into like her horse body. And her horse body is like a light red roan kind of color, but her she's frowning. She doesn't talk much. She's gigantic. This entire time she's just been kind of observing, flexing those muscles. She's yeah.
She's a strong, silent type. Emphasis on the strong,
Yes.
less so on the
Very
silent.
so.
I love her already.
Muscles speak for days.
Oh yeah. She just screams gruel.
Biceps that won't shut up.
That's a good description.
Speak into the mic.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, she has her arms crossed and she just kind of nods her greetings. She's just kind of like,
Stixel sort of takes a few steps forward, looks up at you standing about that far below your first knee. Really, really way down there. When was the last time you were shod?
Whoa, easy there.
That's
You don't
like a
just
very
go asking a
private
lady
thing to
about
ask.
that.
Yeah.
Rob stomps her hoof real hard.
Oh, wow, there's people down here. Just saying. Goblins are people too. And she turns around and walks away back to the other side of the room and takes her place.
I mean, you really get used to it after a while.
Okay, so Dimble Stumbleduck, as he hates to be called, makes his way over to you and hands Malakar a small envelope and makes his way out of the building, eyeing you disapprovingly.
Oof.
I'm sorry, the just Strum is also Izette, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Perfect. Okay. I keep thinking Bard, and I want to immediately go to Rakdos.
Yeah. Purposely playing against type. Cough.
Love it. I love it. It makes sense. You've got a metal lute.
I've
love it.
I've got a metal loop.
Love it. So it's an electric lute.
It's almost like it was part of the design.
Oh, sorry. I ruined your reveal. I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
I picked
Stuff
up
to
on
show up.
something there. It was supposed to be more subtle. I'm sorry.
We'll get there.
Spoilers.
Okay.
I once.
Fawn just kind of shakes the reins, and this Pegasus sort of just takes one flutter, galloping leap right across the room and clumps to a skidding halt on these smooth stones. They're almost glass-like marble beneath your feet in front of you, and sort of braces itself with its wings in a buffet like this. And she reaches down and hands you a scroll tube. Suniva.
Oh, thank you. I open it.
It looks like homework.
Oh, thank you.
I'll take that if you don't want it.
If you want to take a look, be my guest.
It's standard guild forms for an investigation with a small dossier on how you need to go about your investigation and expectations, and a bit of rudimentary information to start from.
I already lost interest.
I like Suneva so much.
I think your guild's forms are a little more robust than ours. Let's look at this thin envelope.
They're recyclable, though. 100% biodegradable.
I fold out a little lighter that shoots a jet of flame as I use that to open the envelope, setting it on fire, and then immediately shake it out. Needs a little work.
I do approve
You
of
pull
that.
out an index card that has 3 checkboxes on it. It says investigate, don't kill anyone, and report back immediately.
I don't like getting bogged down in research procedures. Stump, can you take care of this?
He looks at us like, I will admit, I don't really know what to do with this myself. And I'm just looking at somebody to give it to. It's like,
I mean,
I'll give it to
get rid of that
too.
for you if you need, and we can just.
Well, it seems like the nerd with the other scroll. I'll just give it to her.
Pegasus takes flight before you and goes out the window to the northwest.
Holy crap! Oh, all right.
Think we could make something that flies like that?
Ooh, now that's an idea.
Yeah, isn't it?
So, Halamar continues popping his suckers behind his back and strides calmly across the floor to you and sort of tilts his head in a very Vidalcan manner. It's inquisitive and yet distant at the same time. He hands you a small clipboard with a key on it. I will expect a full report of your investigation. Make haste.
Of course.
This is a matter of most urgent and embarrassing guild matters. Do not fail us.
Well, you can count on me. Always been reliable.
Yes, this is what your notes said and why we've accepted you as a provisional member among the Simic Combine. I shall be watching you. And your clade in future experiments. And makes out the door.
Oh yeah. So you see Cyrus get a little bit. He goes up on his toes a little bit at that, and just like, oh yeah. Well,
You're used to it. You've
out.
been hearing it for the last 3 years since you emerged.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's an unprecedented success. Next, last but not least, oh gee, who didn't go already? They've all gone.
Poor Krav.
Krav.
Girl didn't go.
Krav.
No love.
I mean,
No
Groldus
love for
doesn't want to be part of all
I
this.
got it mixed.
Yeah,
I
take a look at her. Just no.
Stixel makes her way over, looks up at you once more. Do you know the consequences of insubordination? Are you
Krav
loyal
kind of
to
like-
your clan?
Krav drops her head and gives her the like, "Are you serious?" kind of look, like the like yes, duh.
Very well. I shall be in contact with you primarily through your clan leader. We shall meet again. Report timely. Not your timely, my timely. We shall see again very soon. And she turns an almost militant about face and walks out through the back of the chamber.
Croft kind of goes like...
You know you are the only one
like
that
you
did not
much.
get a packet.
Oof.
Okay, so in your packets you find a little bit of information, and this is where I would normally give you a handout, but
Tax documents.
yes. So, in your documentation, you find a little bit more detail about District 6 in general. District 6 being an industrial organized area. It is very dark and gritty. Green fog flows through the sky at almost all hours of the day. The stone spires crawl and twist upwards. The entire region is very church-like. No, I can't do that. Okay. In a future episode, we will be doing images. So, where would you like to start your investigation? The Midori district is where everything sort of went down. Sorry, precinct. I'm getting the structure mixed up here. It's District 10, Precinct 6, Midori Park. Sorry. They're all just numbers. Okay. So how would you like to gather information about the missing persons? You understand
Sorry, I just had a quick question about, like, so I had the clipboard with the key on it. There's nothing else on it?
Oh, it's just some basic forms about interviewees and avenues of exploration, potential leads with breakouts and notes and things like that.
Okay.
Each of them to be filed in a standard, we'll call it a scientific method. See what I did there? Okay. So
well, does anybody have any ideas? And she's like flipping through her like scrolls, just like not actually really looking too closely. Like, there's nothing helpful in here. I don't think there's anything good.
I guess a question to ask would be, what is everyone's skill sets here?
Ian? Ooh, I went Scottish then.
Well, I mean, I was trained by, the soldiers in the Celestia for, defensive needs. So if there is, any sort of danger, I know that there might be monsters and other things. If our investigation takes us out here after nightfall, and I will be more than glad to punch them in the face.
Well, that's good to know.
I can burn things really well and make them go boom.
Oh, I make really good tea. And if anybody ever wants to take like a meditation break, I would be more than glad to lead us all in a wonderful group meditation all together. Yeah.
Oh, I would love that. Oh, I specialize in plants. I like plants and
You must make wonderful tea.
Oh yes, you should try my mushroom tea. And she breaks off one of the mushrooms from her staff and she hands it out to you.
Oh, no. Thank you. And I'll wrap it up and put it in my pouch for like later. I'm going to save this for a special occasion.
Yes,
perhaps when we solve the case.
Yes.
Nothing like tea to solve a murder.
You don't take that if you have anything to do within like 6 or 8 hours. Okay.
Oh, that sounds like a plan to me.
Could I get one?
I'm fine.
Well,
Well, before we get going on these special mushrooms, does anyone have any background in investigating, or is this just kind of a winging it kind of party?
I've got a keen eye, but that's about it.
Likewise. Now I got a list of leads on here. Do I notice anything that looks promising out of those leads?
You actually don't have any leads. They give
No!
you forms to fill out.
No!
So Geneva was given a few leads.
You have a federal tax ID number.
Dang it! I thought I could be helpful.
Geneva had some basic information around Precinct 6.
It's on the floor now.
It's something your characters are really going to be culturally familiar with, just being round about the area. I understand that this is a new campaign and a new setting for all of us, and so we will be exploring it rather than just dumping a bunch of information on you now. We'll walk through different areas and explore the city as we go. As far as your investigation goes, the leads that you do have, the actual leads that you do have are that there has been a rash of disappearances over the last several weeks in Midori Park, that the Simic Combine is under suspicion, the Golgari Swarm is under suspicion, and that if you are out after dark in the Midori Park, things are probably going to get a little bit hairy. But you don't really know if there's anything new or different. This has always been a dangerous area. So why is this something that people are exclaiming upon? Some interesting points of note about Midori Park. It is situated on the western half of, or western third of Precinct 6. It is a sort of tri-lobed district with a central hub, which is the castle that you have just come from. Spanning the gap between Midori Park and Wayport, which is the primary shopping center, there is an area called Deadbridge Chasm. It's not a place where your average citizen goes. The Crawl tend to really get hostile if you were to walk into their hive, effectively, is what it is. So they nest among the cliffs and the moss that grows upon them, as well as much worse things are reputed to come up out of there at night. To the north is the Smelting Quarter. The Smelting Quarter is another industrial area, but more of an orangish fog throughout the skies, and it's more of an iron area rather than a copper area, if you were to think about it in those terms. They smelt, they forge, they cast, they do a lot of other non-precious metals. Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
We might want to start with finding out who's gone missing. I bet someone in the Azorius bureaucracy's written that down somewhere.
Sounds like a good plan.
Could also take
That's
a look
also
around the park and
where everybody's gone missing. Perhaps they're all being taken in the same area.
Yeah, they have rules about writing everything down. Oh, they'll know. Probably. Certainly. Probably.
Well, then, should we make our way to the park?
I agree.
Okay.
Wonderful.
So
I'll turn around and start marching over to. This is me walking.
So coming across the bridge, you come through. You cross over Deadbridge Chasm.
Okay.
It's an enormous.
We're there, man. We are there.
That's literally dangerous.
No, literally, you are in the central district of a tri-lobed area. You have an area here, here, and here. Okay, so in Midori Park here, you have sort of the central castle area here where you came from. Then you have Midori Park, and crossing between these three along the edge of this enormous hole in the ground is Midori Chasm. I'm sorry, Deadbridge Chasm. It serves as an entrance to the Golgari's Undercity. As you're walking along the edge of this massive void, the blackness is almost all engulfing as you look over the edge, and the smell coming up out of it is one of decay, natural and both flora and fauna. It's an earthy smell as well as a sour smell.
Smells like that tea you're brewing.
You can see across the way there are many crawl, which are, you would know, an insectoid humanoid race. Similar in concept to, I guess, maybe a Thrycreen from the Dark Sun setting, but more of a hive-minded, structured society, and think more of like maybe an ant colony. They are a very social race, but they do not speak common. They only speak crawl. They are incapable of speaking common. You can see them in their hexapedal gait crawling across the walls at near impossible angles. Their hind four legs are like spikes, just like pulling in different pieces of stone as they crawl across the face. Their upper body with three-fingered hands, and sort of just going about their normal day-to-day, carrying bundles from here and there, and looking about the general welfare of the Golgari swarm, and specifically the crawl hive that they are thriving in. You come across the span and into Midori Park, and immediately the green that you are seeing going over the chasm dies away. Midori Park is sooty. It's dark. This is
more like it.
This is not a very good park.
The walls are not
that
very
place
well
a little
swept.
better.
The streets are not swept. The cobblestones are rutted and rounded. It's almost, you have to watch where you step for fear that you might twist an ankle. The alleys are not universally straight. I mean, the buildings just seem to be plopped down wherever they could. And does anybody have any history skills?
Do I?
No.
I mean, I'm decent at it, but I don't actually have the proficiency.
Same.
Okay. It's
I
called
will say-
Midori.
As is the engineers, we do technically have urban infrastructure features. So
True.
we do have that ability. So we might
That
know
is,
stuff because of that.
That is a very strong indicator, actually, that your character would know this. It's called Midori Park not because it's a park. You get here and you're expecting some urban sprawl of trees and bridges, and it's not. There's no lake. There's no water features. It's Midori Park because a crime syndicate lobbied enough to get a change in zoning and turned a once park-like setting into a warehouse lot. This whole district has become ramshackle structures in various states of disrepair and controlled by, reputedly, the Orzhov Syndicate, who were notably not present, though none of you are from that guild, so this being a dangerous area of them, they might as well be something to possibly be behind this scenario. So, you make your way through the crooked and busted down buildings. A lot of them are covered in rusted tin roofs, and some walls are just rotting away. It's very much in a state of disrepair. The people of the city of Midori Park are primarily goblin folk. You see a lot of guards. It's a noticeable presence here. As you make your way through the area, you see that they're sort of on high alert, but casual about it. They're carrying long lances, and they stand about every 3-4 blocks or so out in front of an alley, just bored, but have their heads on a swivel.
Well, this is a really dreary place.
Yeah.
It is around 10 a.m., and the hubbub of the day is come to a slow point with the workers being out of the district. But there are a few miscellaneous bakers and retailers that are making their way through the city, through the streets at this time of day.
Does there appear to be any kind of like common laborers or anything of that type wandering?
As you begin wondering that, actually a goblin comes walking out of a back alley, carrying, he's wearing an apron that seems to be covered in flour, and he's carrying a couple loaves of bread, and he's actually whistling, which is kind of odd. Yeah,
I like it.
When you see an area like this of such poverty, that you don't expect to see someone so happy, but this baker or whatever he may be just seems to be in a great mood, and he's.
I just kind of like hail him and was like, "Hello there, friend. I like that tune you're whistling."
Bread.
Tuesday? Not any of the
I
bread
try
right
and
now.
whistle too. But I can.
Have a good day.
No, sir. I have a question to ask you, sir. Is he staying?
Yeah.
Is he sticking there?
Got him. Let's go.
I don't have anything for you.
No, I was just wondering, friend. What? Can you tell me a bit more about the situation going on here? There seems to be quite an uptick of guards. What do you know?
Them? That's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, from
Normal?
here.
Clearly not.
They keep us safe. You know, he kind of hushes his voice. Do you know what the Orzhov would do if they weren't here? I certainly wouldn't be able to keep anything from this.
Wait,
To
who
feed
wasn't
someone
here?
else's family.
Who protects you?
The guards. Who else?
I'm just loving this voice.
Right.
Do you know-
No, please. They protect you from the syndicate. Is that right? Is there anything else going on around here that they might need to protect you from? Now just settle down. It'll be all right. We're all friends here.
You can tell me. One goblin to another.
Well, the Azorius and the Boros, they post guards to make sure that Orzhov. I've said too much. I don't like guild politics. I really just don't want to be a part of it.
Corey,
I've got.
are those Boros guards or are they guildless?
They are. He said Boros and Azorius.
Okay.
Wait, so when he says that, does he look like over at the guards and like the group as a whole is both made up of both of them? Or
As you've sort of like flagged him down and you've started questioning him in this regard, he's sort of really quieted down and sort of like
Sure.
he's constantly looking around trying to make sure that nobody's seeing him be questioned.
Okay.
Okay.
While they're questioning him, Katrin is kind of hanging back from the group up against a wall, and she's just surveying the area and making sure, seeing if anybody else is noticing them talking to this goblin and reacting at all to it. She's just watching.
Roll me a perception check and talk about how you're doing so.
So I'm going to go ahead and roll a d20. And that was a 14, and then I'm going to add my perception modifier. Yeah.
Oh, wait, yeah. Oh, hey, first roll.
First roll. And then I'm going to add my perception modifier of +3, and I am also proficient in perception, so I'm going to add another 2, so that's +5 for a 19.
19 perception. As you're looking around, you do note that some of the guards are sort of giving some side-eye, but the goblin that you're talking to doesn't seem to have noticed.
Do the guards seem to be disgruntled that or disapproving that the goblin is actually talking to us, or they're just keeping an eye on him?
So they seem to be both listening and protecting, and roll me an insight.
Okay. Once again, we're gonna go ahead and roll another d20. That time I got a 2 on it, which is probably not going to do very well. And then I've got an insight of +3, which is my wisdom score. I'm not proficient, so that's a total of 5.
Okay, so with a 5 insight, you're able to tell that they are listening. You're not really sure why, though. They're of different guilds, and why is he keeping his voice down if he's speaking about why they're here and he's representing it as they would want him to? So that's about as much as you can glean.
Okay. I don't say anything. I just kind of lock that information in my head.
Okay.
And continue to observe.
Is our goblin friend carrying any of his wares?
He is carrying 2 loaves of bread. They are still fresh and covered in flour.
Can I smell them over the smell of the smelting and the soot and the whatever? Do they look covered in soot yet?
No, this is very it's a dark and dreary neighborhood, but it is well lit, and okay. I mean it's 10 a.m. There's not really an overhead fog of smoke as much in this area. The soot appears to be raining down from other areas of the city. This is a warehousing district more than an industry district. Okay.
So addressing our new goblin friend here. Now, are those 2 fine loaves of bread for sale, or
For you, friend? Yes! How many would you like? I've got more at the bakery.
Yeah, where's that bakery at? Maybe we can talk price.
Right around the corner.
Well, let's go.
Cyrus is so charming. Wow.
I know. I'm like, just keep talking.
Yep. Okay. You successfully convinced him that this is in the name of business.
Absolutely.
Finger gun.
I rolled an insight check with his modifiers, and that was not a beautiful number. Though I definitely picked up on some. We promised not to stab you. So,
hey, this is all friendly business here. I'm just looking for a nice loaf of bread for me and my friends while we're on our travel.
Crop nods.
Yeah. I got lots more. Let's go.
Some fresh bread.
And he
lead on.
Immediately turns around and begins whistling loudly again, and almost skipping. And it's kind of impressive that he's not dropping these loaves of bread while he's skipping.
Yeah.
And About a block and a half up the road. You're skipping together. He reaches over and he grabs your hand and you're just like skipping. The guards are somewhat unperturbed by your joviality. So you make your way down about a block and a half around the corner, winding through an alley and into an open shop with a glass front. There is the smell of fresh baked bread permeates the area. You see that it's not the cleanest of shops, but it is functional. This is definitely, they're making bread here.
Can I
Sure.
fit?
Okay. Yeah. I was going to ask if Krav could fit in the bakery.
Absolutely. And for the sake of the rest of the adventure, we will say that everywhere is centaur accessible.
Centaur size. All right. Fantastic.
I say that,
It's just
but
the horse half sitting outside of the door.
mechanically, the centaur is exactly the same as all other medium creatures, with the exception that it can carry more, as if it were a large creature.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And,
It also has some trouble climbing.
I think a lot of trouble climbing.
Yeah.
And apparently there's some DM discussion around whether or not players can ride them. I would say smaller creatures, if the centaur is willing. Otherwise, a sentient creature might not want to be ridden.
But Corey, I wanted to shoot a lightning bolt from Centaurback.
I know, dreams crushed.
You got to talk to Croft.
Yep. Fan art waiting to be made.
Common horse.
So wait, when we enter the bakery, is it just him here, or is it like a larger operation?
So as you make your way into the front, there's a little bit of a shop counter with a glass front case and other various loaves of bread, some on racks nearby. And through the back where the ovens are, you can see that there are 10 or 11 other goblins quickly bustling around other ovens and making loaves of bread, trying to supply the rest of the city.
Sure. Okay. So clearly I had a little bit of other motive for bringing the goblin back here out of the earshot of the guards, but so as we walk in, I turn to Krav here and Krav, if you don't mind just posting up by this door for a bit, we our proprietor and we're gonna have a little bit of a conversation.
Krav nods, like, oh yeah, I get it. Goes to the door.
They're 2 copper.
2 copper. Well, how about I give
Zennies,
you...
Sorry, Zennies.
Zennies. Oh, that's right. That's right. I almost forgot, so thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so turn
Zennies
like, how
are pennies. Xeno are dollars, are gold. Zennies and Xeno.
Yeah.
Cheap bread.
So turning away from Krav in the door and like walking, kind of, somewhat perusing through the glass case or something like that. Look at him. Well, how about 10 of those Zenny? Or wait, Xeno, was that? I just already forgot. Oh my god. Which one's the copper one?
You could totally offer them.
Zenny the penny.
Zenny the penny.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Zenny penny.
How about 10 Zenny, and you give us a little bit more information about what we were talking about earlier, and I'll take that loaf off your hands.
You want 5 loaves?
No,
okay, we can
sir.
do 5 loaves.
No, sir. I would like 1 loaf of bread for me and my companions here, and I would like some information.
2 loaves.
I'd like 1 too, to be honest.
Oh my goodness. Fine, 2 loaves of bread
Is like,
and some
I
information.
do love some baked bread.
2 loaves will settle. Now some information from you, my friend.
Money first.
I give him enough for the 2 loaves, but I kind of hold out my hand with the rest of it in it.
All right. And he hands you the 2 loaves of bread, and he turns around and he sort of like peeks through the back and closes the door. He's like,
all right. Why do you need to know?
Well, we've heard there's a rash of disappearances in this area, and I'd love to know if you know anything about it.
Surely you hear a lot from people who wander through your door.
It's a hazard of the business. You talk to a lot of people. You make a lot of friends. You learn a lot of things. But, I think you need to be a little more specific about what you're asking me.
Oh, there have been tales of many more people disappearing than is normal for this area. Is there perhaps anything you have heard about maybe some new kind of beastie that is stealing people away in the night, or some other kind of I don't know, something crazy going on? We are not from here, so we are just trying to help and see if there's, anything that we can figure out to maybe bring some of these people home.
Yeah, I know. I've known a few people that have disappeared.
Roll an investigation check.
Alright, so I'm rolling a d20 -1. So that's 15 actually. Not too bad.
Hey, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so he looks at you and kind of tilts his head.
I don't like to talk about those who've left us, but I will tell you, the recent attacks are unusual. The victims are taken from their homes. They don't disappear in the streets for being out after dark. Usually, if you're bad at work or you do something you're not supposed to, they make you stay after work, and then you have to go home after dark, and bye.
Oh.
So that's why people disappear. Not so with these. These are home invasions. This is awfully weird.
Oh, so people are having their homes broken into and they're being stolen from their own homes now? Oh,
Entire
that's scary.
families.
Oh no. Do you know where some of these homes are? Perhaps we will be able to go and find some clues.
Atta girl.
Oh, I can definitely sniff them out.
I figured something out.
I don't think I really want to talk anymore about it.
Just
Talking
one
about-
address and we'll be gone.
I jingle the coins a little bit in my hand.
If they overhear me, it's gonna be bad, and then I'm gonna be held late. And I'm sorry.
Just keep your voice low. Keep your voice low. Tell us one house.
I would like
Roll a persuasion.
take 3 steps forward with big buff
Or intimidation.
I want to roll for intimidation.
Wait. Yeah, okay.
This
Do we
is
both-
good cop,
you
bad
both want us to roll
cop.
it?
That's an assist. That's
You
an
both want us
assist.
to roll?
Yeah.
So I want.
She's helping you.
Yes, I would like Krav to use the help action, and Cyrus, you will have advantage on the roll.
Get him.
Rolling a d20 plus the 6 for persuasion with proficiency. So 1 time, 2 times for advantage, 16.
16.
All
I
right.
got
All right. Yeah,
I don't have a roll.
Nope. That's in previous versions. You've had to roll for the help action, success or fail, 10 or
But this one just gives them
over to
advantage.
succeed. And this one, it just gives them advantage, and then they get to use their modifier on both of the die that way. So,
Right.
your imposing presence looms over this goblin worker as the much more sane and rational Cyrus leans in, jingling some coins with a sort of good cop, bad cop routine of like, we don't have to be friends if you don't want to be, but it's much more profitable if we are. And he takes the hint and recognizes this is what happens when you appear to know something. So he's somewhat unsurprised, rolls his eyes.
All right. Give me the money now.
I give him half of the rest. Give us the place.
You are not a friend. Do not darken my doorstep again.
But I like
3
your
blocks
bread.
west of here. It's happened in a rash. They all seem to be near the sewer entrances.
Gross.
I hope you choke on the bread. Get out of my shop.
And thank you for doing business. I give him the rest and turn to walk out.
Krav kind of elbows him as he turns, like, "Where's my bread?"
Hey.
Wait.
Here you go. All right. As we get out of the shop, I hand her the loaf. I'm like, you did real good back there. I like this.
That was a lot of information
Nice.
for 10 zennies.
I don't like making enemies of people. Can we make friends of them next time?
We
we
could have
were
been
just trying to
friends.
help.
I mean, the bread's not very good. Do we really care?
Yeah, how is the bread? How is
I'm
the
gonna
bread?
I'm gonna roll a proficiency on. It's passable. That would be a 10. So it's
Is it worth the 2 zenny a loaf? Is all I want to know.
Anything that keeps you from dying is worth 2 zenny a loaf.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I will say,
Takes the bite. She's like, it's bread, you know.
This is not a delicacy. You know, this is definitely not artisanal bread. This is a warehouse district surf bread.
Yeah.
I will say, it's good to have friends in low places. It's always good to have them on your side.
Yes. Oh, and one day I'll make you my 13 seed bread. It's really good.
That sounds really good. This stuff's a little better if you singe it. Nice.
Yeah, I do the same. Actually. Toast my bread.
I had produce flame out. That's
a good idea.
Testing mine.
Oh, and avocado toast came to D&D.
Who said avocado?
Oh, I already see where it's going.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Okay, so
Now we break for lunch, yeah?
Well, you don't have
here's some
avocado
toast
toast
if you're
on
hungry.
delivery?
Oh, we are in a park. We could have lunch.
Does Ravnica have seeds?
Not a very nice park. I say we take this information we just gathered and take ourselves about 3 blocks west.
Yeah, it is a little dusty. Their debris vaporizers must be uncalibrated.
Right.
I agree. Not my area.
Man,
of expertise,
Techno
obviously.
jargon, techno jargon, techno jargon.
From the same guild, you don't even know what he's saying.
I tend to play around more with the electronics. I like that.
This is my specialty.
Yeah,
Getting
less
rid of stuff no
explosions
one wants.
does seem safer.
So you wander through the streets, through a few alleys. You almost get lost for a moment with your directional sense. You pick the wrong spire to walk towards, and then it just becomes apparent. Yeah, obviously, I'm walking the wrong way, and it takes a few moments, and you recalibrate and get moving in the right direction. And you come across a sewer grate in the middle of the street, and you look around and you see this is very clearly a residential neighborhood. The buildings are sort of stucco, and they appear to be reinforced with rusting rebar and sort of crumbling away.
May I make an investigation of the area, Mr. DM?
I would love it if you would.
I would like to help.
Also
them.
help because I'm good at that
Yeah.
role.
I was gonna say, yeah,
Same.
same. Everyone's just looking around, I guess.
Okay, so you have the
Yeah.
help action.
Okay. So we got at least a helper. So it's a D20 for me plus 4 with the proficiency.
So
That's a nat
plus
20.
2 for your intelligence plus your. Okay, now I love natural 20s, but on skill checks they are not technically a critical.
I'm just saying. I said it because it can't get higher, so I'm not gonna roll.
That is a fact.
It's still good.
Like if that still fails, we were never going to succeed.
Yeah,
Yep,
24
yep. Sorry, 24 investigation. You see your eyelids. Yep. Oh, never mind. 24 investigation. You're looking around, and it becomes immediately apparent to you what's going on. You can see that this sewer grate is been opened recently. The grime that sort of would normally be around the rim has been disturbed somewhat frequently, actually. Looking at the buildings around, you can see that there are, as described, there's a broken window on that home over there. And the curtains appear to be somewhat torn, though you're not sure if that's related or not. The home does not appear to be inhabited, or maybe the inhabitants are off at work. You're not quite sure, but there are no signs of immediate inhabitation.
Well, group, it looks like we've got some movement on this grate here, and a location that might need some more investigating. Now, where do we stand on the whole going in other people's homes when they're maybe not there?
I'm fine with it.
Oh, well, that.
They've been abducted already, and how else will we know how to find them?
Correct, but we don't know if they have or not. I mean, we can knock on the door a couple times, see if anyone's home, and then...
Hello!
We should probably do that.
I just started yelling from the street. Hello!
Just like poking your head through the broken window. Like, hello! Anybody home?
Hello!
So, are there 6 or 12 guards on this street?
Yeah, right.
Actually, the guards are watching you, but you're not, like, trying to climb in through a window or something, so they don't really seem to be doing much other than watching.
Should have checked the area first.
I don't know why we didn't think about looking.
Should have cased this joint. What am I doing?
We're about to break into a house.
No.
My intelligence is 9.
Maybe we can try to look a way around back.
Guards are notoriously bribable, right? Right?
Oh.
I've already done some bribing today. Someone else can take some coin out of their pocket, all right?
Okay, so as you're sort of shouting through the windows and peering in, and the guards are just like staring at you, somewhat unamused. None of them seem to be making any sort of hostile actions or anything along those lines. But as you make your way to the front door, someone does sort of push the door open. It opens outward, which is sort of odd, but it just like peers out a little bit, and it's a small it's a halfling child, and they're about 1.5 feet tall, and they're completely adorable. They haven't even grown the hair on their feet yet.
No, I love that one.
I'm sorry, there's no halflings here.
I know, you got me all excited.
No.
I know. There's no halflings.
Are they visiting from another plane?
Just this once. I blame Jace. No, this is a small Dvarkin child. It's sort of dark-haired, strong-jawed, dark-eyed, and sort of half-clad, sort of warm today. So the child's running around without a shirt on. He looks at you and I wouldn't wake like that. Don't do that. And then very shyly just disappear back inside.
Oh, wait!
Don't run away.
We want to help. Have you seen any monsters?
That's not.
Hello.
Folks, the head out. Monsters.
Hi. Yeah, we are monster hunters.
Oh,
sure.
Oh, yes. Come on, I need your help. My parents have been taken. Come here. Come on.
Oh no, I'll hurry in.
He looks around and he's watching the guards, like hoping they hear him.
Yeah. I glance back towards the guards. What do we got?
Yeah.
I feel Crop tensing up next to me. All right, I don't want to have to do this.
One of them sort of takes his pike point and like starts prying up a cobblestone in the street, just really messing around.
Totally not.
Well, they're not paying attention inside. Let's go.
Hey, look bored. Let's go.
Yeah, they're not watching. Let's go.
You make your way in, and this child's sitting in the dark, on a sort of a coffee table type piece of furniture that appears to be a floor seating arrangement dining room table. And he sits there, and he's got some misshapen blocks, and you know, where you would expect them to be cubes, none of them are. They're all oddly shapen and not flat-sided in any way. It's almost more of a puzzle than a toy.
You said it's dark in here?
It's dim light.
Okay.
Just as a rule, dim light. Those of you with dark vision can see as if it were day, and the rest of you have limited visibility through. Mr. Rule's assistant, what is the ruling for non-dark vision in dim light?
Dim light imposes disadvantage on perception checks.
Thank you. That is exactly it. That's what I meant to say. Thank you very much, Nat. So, there's a whole lot of debate around lighting conditions in sight, and there's actually been multiple versions put out in different versions of the D&D Player's Handbook. So, it's always something you want to keep an eye out and study up on, because it's different in every situation.
Also, just a lot of DMs want to run it different.
Yeah,
that's true.
DMs too.
And that's the fun of a fantasy game, is you can run it however you like. I don't care if you got dark vision. You're blind.
No.
It's magical darkness.
Dark vision's OP. All right, man.
It's really good.
It's really good.
It is really good. Okay,
they hand it out like candy.
Yep, everyone gets it.
So
Wait,
who
actually,
here?
who has it?
Who here has
Do we know?
dark vision?
I do.
Excellent.
Boom.
Well, that's balanced.
All right.
Cynic,
What's up?
All right,
Goblin,
All right, blind team.
Half-elves?
Let's go.
Half elves. I actually normally play halflings who do not have dark vision, so I'm very excited.
I miss my tiefling.
See, most of my characters are elves or gnomes, and they do have dark vision, but Loxodons don't.
I didn't know Loxodons did or not. I was trying to remember.
Makes sense. How many elephants do you see in caves?
I think elephants don't have very good eyesight, right?
They're
They
no
got
more
massive-
for their memory.
They smell really well.
So don't
They've got good
don't
smell.
beat down their eyesight in front of them. They'll never forgive you.
Yeah. I will say,
Okay,
by the way, upon entering this room and seeing what appears to be a child's puzzle to play with, Strum is just immediately going to start playing with it. Like he sat on the floor just.
Malachar is
He
like-
scoots over a little bit and actually starts building things together with you. The sides of the cubes, as they are more oblong, and the sides sort of wave, and they are able to hold on to one another like wooden Legos, but it's more of a puzzle of how you put them together. Looking at it, it does seem like it has some ultimate goal of what its structure is supposed to be when it's complete, or that it
Okay,
has
work it
multiple structures. So you're working on this thing together, and he sort of has like a kinship with you because of it. Like you immediately just start playing with this, and he slips into a little bit more of a comfort zone to be able to talk to you. So I haven't seen my parents in days. I was out, and I've heard the rumors since my parents disappeared. They were good people. They are good people, and I have to think that they're okay.
Okay, well, we're going to do our best to find them. And I'll, crouch down next to him while he's doing the puzzle with Strom. Where's the last place that you saw them?
Here. I was staying the night at a friend's house, and my parents said they had something they had to do that night. And when I came home in the morning, the house was completely torn apart, and the windows were broken, and
oh no.
The guards just said my parents had a fight. And I don't think my parents never fight.
That sounds very strange then. Have you been hearing any unusual noises before your parents went missing, maybe?
No.
No?
It was everything was good. Everything was fine.
This might be a delicate question to ask, but what were they fighting about? Do you know?
I don't think they were. My parents never fight. I think the guards are lazy.
I'd like to go over.
That they're lazy.
There's been other disappearances, and I'm beginning to think the guards are involved.
Do you know any of the other people who went missing? Any of the other families?
Yeah. Sestri's parents disappeared last week. They're a block over and up, and they disappeared in the middle of the night too. Do you think they're together?
Oh, no. Maybe. We're going to do our best to try to find them for you.
I hope they're
Katrin
okay.
is sniffing this house like a bloodhound right now.
Yeah, I would like to look
Roll
over.
investigation.
I'd like to investigate the broken window and see if maybe there's like signs of claws or something.
Okay. And Katrin?
You said to roll investigation. I rolled an 18 on the dice. I do actually have advantage, so I'm going to go ahead and roll again because of my keen smell. I get advantage on investigation checks that involve smell. That was worse. That was a 15, so we're going to take the 18 plus 2 for investigation. I'm not proficient, so that's an unnatural 20.
So, it's not an unusual scent, but it's an alarming one. You can smell blood. A lot of it. And it goes up the wall towards the window. It's not visible. You can't see any blood, but you can smell it. Suniva, on your investigation, you do find a few faint claw marks on the inside of the wall, and you note that the window was broken inward.
Oh, so something definitely came inside to break this window. Do I recognize the claws at all? I am proficient in survival. And also nature.
Yeah, roll me a nature check. That is a much better roll.
While they're doing all the investigating, can I talk to the boy for a sec?
Certainly, let me resolve the roll first.
Sure.
It's a 12 plus 1, because my intelligence sucks, even though I'm proficient. So 13 total.
You can tell that these are not mechanical scratches because the lines are, they're definitely gouges of a cut nature, and they are in parallel lines. Whereas if it were mechanical, you would expect there to be more fraying and breakage. But this is definitely something that came from a creature.
Okay, this looks like perhaps some kind of claw marks on the windows.
While I was smelling the house, I also wanted to get a sense of the smells of the people that live there. Like the smell of him and possibly what his parents probably smelled like, so that if I smell it later, I'll recognize it.
You note that the parents are not Defkaran. The parents are human.
Okay.
But you get a strong affinity for who they are. Roll me a perception. You get advantage, correct?
With smell, yes. So that's a natural 1, and I'm glad I have advantage. That's another 18, so I'll take that one, and it's perception.
Feels good. Feels good.
Which, yeah. So that's a +3 for my wisdom modifier, and then a +2 for my proficiency. So that's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
So along with the scent of them being human, you do pick up a slight sense of fear in the air and adrenaline, but very, very slight. You get the impression that this, whatever it was, happened very suddenly, very unexpectedly, and was over very quickly.
Okay. I do not say any of that, but I keep observing.
You maintain your composure. That sounds like a performance roll. But first, I think that we'll take that as a given. The child is distracted with toys and is a child. So, Cyrus, you would like to ask questions of the boy.
Yeah, sure. While they're doing the investigating and stuff like that, I would look down. Boy, how long have they been missing again?
2 days.
2 days on your own? What's your name, son?
Alcaris.
Alcaris. Alcaris, you been eating? You got food in the house?
He sort of
Someone
turns
coming
out
to
his
take care of
pockets
you?
and finds, and he shows like a stale crust of bread that he's clearly been picking away at, and I won't ask you to do this for free, and I'll make my way, but this is all
Hold
I
on,
have.
son. I'm
And he
not
puts
asking
4
about
coppers
price.
and a bottle cap on the road, on the table.
Oh, Alcaris, hang on now, son. Krav, do you still have any of the bread left?
I have a little bit.
Croft definitely ate the entire lot.
All right. So seeing Malakar with some of the bread left, I hold out a hand. Malakar, if you don't mind, and just hand it to the boy. Now, son, do you have anywhere you can go?
No. I mean, yeah, I could go to my friend's house, but I'm hoping to be here when my parents come home. I'm sleeping there, though, at night. I don't want to be here alone.
Right.
think
So
that's a
you
good
leave
idea.
before dark, I hope.
One more time, you guys cut out.
No, go ahead, Sam.
Oh, no, I was just saying, I think that's a very good idea, not to stay here by yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Your friends let you come back here every morning?
They tried to stop me, but I'm very quick. And
All right.
today they didn't try to stop me.
So we're gonna take a look around here, Alcaris. Now, why don't you head on over to your friend's house? We'll come get you when we know something.
Oh, what time is it now? Is it close to nightfall?
It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe 1:30.
Okay, so it's fine.
Yeah, I just want him there, and we can go get him if necessary, right? Just go
I
watch
wasn't
where
sure
he
if we
goes.
should escort.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's right 1 block over and 1 block up. You can't miss it. It's the one with the rusted roof and the chipped corner. They have a red door.
Fantastic. Now, son, you take the rest of that bread there, and you go to your friends, all right? We'll come get you when we know something. And you take, and I give him back his stuff, too. You take all that. We don't need it.
Katrin breaks off a couple mushrooms from a different part of her staff, and she hands it to him.
He recognizes the mushrooms are not going to keep.
They're different from the mushrooms that they're different from the other mushrooms. There's a few different on there.
Yeah, I mean, fungal colonies are totally not competitive with one another. That's
not
awesome.
At all. She's a druid.
So she's good at this. She's found symbiotic mushrooms.
Magic, okay.
Super impressive. It's super impressive.
I mean,
It is.
She is
And if you're good
literally
at
magic.
Yes. She expects that Suniva should be impressed by this mushroom collection. It is tended very well.
I'm super into these mushrooms.
So he recognizes immediately that these mushrooms aren't going to keep, and just like jams them in his mouth and then stuffs a piece of bread in there. It looks embarrassed for a moment, looks down at the toys and thinks. He looks visibly if he's thinking he should take the toys with them or not, and grabs the coins off the table and puts them in his pocket. And says, all right, who are you?
Well,
oh,
my name's Cyrus Elsvold.
If I'm going to tell them that you guys are going to be coming for me later on, I really want to make sure that they know who you are and that they're not just weird strangers that are coming to talk to me, because that's really going to make them nervous.
Well, we're also weird strangers, so.
No, my name is Suniva, so now we're all friends and we're not strangers at all.
I agree with Cindy.
I'm a little strange, but no, I'm Katrin.
So
Call me strong.
The Celestine are known in our home, and my friend's home. You wear the insignia, so it should be enough. Suniva, thank you.
Oh, it is our pleasure. We will do our best to get your parents home safe for you. Okay?
Yes.
I'm gonna kneel down in front of him, and take his little hand and say, "Look him in the eye. My name's Malachar. We'll find your parents. Keep in mind that sometimes strangers are the best people. Sometimes they are the space to care." And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna sleight of hand a gold 1 GP Xeno coin into his palm.
Aw, I was gonna do that.
Yeah, he tries a sleight of hand with it to make it disappear. Which
I mean, I can probably do it decently. He can't.
He got an 11, so not terrible. Even for being not proficient, that still puts him at a 13. He has a +2 for dexterity.
To get him. Yeah, that's pretty good. Kid's got some dex.
He's Difkar. He's an elf. He gets +2 to dex.
Yeah.
So
my passive is 13, so I see it.
Damn it! You know Malachar's a good person.
Oh no!
So the coin disappears into the folds of his shorts, and just thank you for helping, and thank you for showing me the Azet aren't all bad. I hope to see you soon.
I also look at
yo,
and
wait,
then
what?
he decides to take his coin.
We have a bad reputation. I'm pissed.
So does he like take off out the door? Because if he does, I want to shadow him from a little bit of a distance, but make sure he gets there.
Yes.
Because it says 2 blocks. I feel like it's easy enough, but
I would love to make you roll a stealth check.
yeah, fantastic.
Get it.
This is going to be interesting. So yeah, I'm proficient in stealth to +7. It's not good. That's an 11.
That is
That is not good.
That is better than his passive perception, though, and you do manage to escape notice.
I'm the best.
He's not the most perceptive of children. Children are not the most wise of beings out there. So,
yeah,
there are rare exceptions to that, of course. But in D&D, wisdom comes with age and experience. So,
or with being a druid,
or with being a druid, or a caster class that has to go through years and years of poring over scrolls and books. So, You see your way over to the red door as described, and the family welcomes him inside, and they hug him as he enters, and you're confident that he is going to be well cared for in your absence.
Excellent. Make my way back to the house.
Okay, so you're all standing in this house now. There were some odd looks when you followed the child to the friend's house and then came back, and the guard comes up and knocks on the door when you re-enter.
Sure,
Oh,
yeah,
I
I opened it up. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I would open it up like,
sorry.
hello!
Yeah. Anyone can open it. I'm just saying, I'd open it. It's fine.
Keeping the peace.
This large, broad-shouldered female minotaur stands before you, carrying a bardache, wearing the Boros insignia blazoned on a breastplate that is radiant and sort of aggressive looking. Nat, what does the Boros Legion look like? What's their logo look like?
They have like a fist with flames coming out of the sides.
Yes. Yes, that is such a good logo for this character. Excuse me.
Hello there.
Oh, hi.
Are we just all squatting now? This home is no longer occupied?
No, we are doing a little bit of investigating on the disappearances in the area, and we're just helping that little boy get to somewhere safe.
Right. Okay. And who are you?
That way we can look over the house and make sure we know where his parents... Well, we can try to find his parents. So that the house is occupied. Isn't that what you want?
Right. You're them sorts.
Them sorts?
Yeah.
I don't want you asking questions around here and inciting the public into thinking there's more going on here than there is. You make the public afraid, and that's more than I have to take care of. Move along.
No, just helping a small boy out, that's all.
Yes, well,
Not like
Do you have to
keep your
public
questions.
afraid?
Our job is to keep the peace. And if you run about spreading rumors and asking questions, that's more work. And I don't like more work. Move along or be detained. She clocks her heels together and pulls her bardache to the edge and steps out of the way, holding the door open for you.
Okay. I'll step out.
Okay then.
I'll step
Okay,
out.
I mean,
That's
we are
fine.
here with the authority of the Guild Pact, so I mean, we are the ones doing all of the work. You don't have to do anything right now. We are doing all of the searching and all of the searching and all of the talking, and we will find out everything for everybody and get everybody here safely, because I mean, this is just no good what is all going on.
What my friend here means to say is y'all doing a fantastic job, and we'll get out of your way.
I concur.
Such a good job, you don't
I
have to do
appreciate it.
anything, because we are doing all of it for you. You can just relax and...
Let's just carry. Come on, let's just go now. Come on, up you go. Let's go. I'm just walking down the road.
Are we going to the next house?
Jesus.
The Minotaur is...
Nice.
You see the the steam coming out of the nostrils. This Minotaur is getting more and more enraged. Okay, so... roll me a perception check, all of you.
Ooh. I'm okay with those.
The everyone
Natural
roll. I
one!
love it. Woo!
It's okay. 13.
Ooh, I got a 10.
19.
Oh, jeez. That is not
24.
6.
24
We
and
are
26.
outside.
Katroon and Neva. Selesnya can see.
Katrun, actually, After your investigation inside and the scent of the blood, and you're looking around outside as you exit, and it catches your attention that there is a faint scent of blood outside the house as well. Cyrus, with your perception, you note the other guards are specifically looking away the more irate that this Minotaur gets.
Ah. Okay. Okay. So I guess we're all out of the house now? Has the Minotaur like
standing in the street
gone back to over to the other side, or are we just like out of the house and they're good with us, or are we like being escorted somewhere?
The moment you cross the threshold on your way out, she slams the door shut behind you and it sort of splinters on its hinges and sort of like leans off to the side a little bit. About your business.
Absolutely.
On her heel,
All right.
on her hoof, and storms down the alley.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Katrin's going to kind of essentially gravitate the direction that the blood seems to be going. Just be like, come on this way, guys.
You find something.
And just will follow her nose,
Roll
trying
a
not to be
survival check.
completely obvious that she's... What was that?
Roll me a survival check for tracking.
One at a time?
Go ahead. Oh, I was gonna ask, is your trunk just like stuck out there, like sniffing everything as it is, or are you trying to be a bit more subtle about it?
She's a bit more subtle about it. She's
Okay.
not like in the house. When we first got in the house, it was like a vacuum cleaner, like up on everything. But now that she's outside, she needs to compose herself, so she's just kind of like, oh.
Okay.
Crop can help with that survival check too. if you need it.
What's that?
Crop
Okay,
can
so
help with that survival check.
you got to be aware of the situation, which Katrun has identified the scent of blood to be able to do the help action. Katrun, you are aware of the scent of blood, and you are sort of guiding the party in that direction. I need a survival check from you to follow the scent to its source.
Okay. That's a 7 or a natural 20, so I'll take the natural 20.
Okay.
Plus, my survival is a +5, so 25.
25, so proficiency plus your
Wisdom.
Okay. So, as you're sort of snooting along, just like picking up particles out of the air of blood that seems to have been somehow scrubbed away, you go walking down the cobbles in nonchalantly as you can, right past the sewer grate, and the trail seems to continue. You
past the
keep
sewer
walking
grate?
Past the sewer grate and down the street, out onto a main thoroughfare, up the side of a building. And it's it's a lot harder.
Once I get to where it starts to go up the side of the building, I'll kind of like go an extra few feet. Maybe like an extra 20, 30 feet, and I'll just kind of stop and stand in front of a storefront or warehouse or wherever it looks like it would be common for someone to stand. And I'll just turn around and kind of be like, okay, well, I had the scent of a blood trail, and it, speaking quietly to my group, cone of whisper right now, just so you guys can hear me. Well, you know, there was definitely some sort of blood trail, and I didn't want to alarm the kid, but his parents are human. His parents are human, so we're looking for humans, okay? I couldn't tell you what they look like, but I got a really good nose for their scents. And the blood trail, it just started going up the wall, though.
I can't climb walls, so I couldn't follow it. Yeah.
Wow.
Can we look for anything physical? So she's got the blood trail. Is there anything physical in the area where it goes up the wall?
Roll me an investigation. The building is sort of tin-sided, tin-roofed, and it is flat-topped. There is a storefront at the ground level where you are, and it appears to be second-story windows, maybe residential or offices. The building does appear to go back quite a ways between the alleys. It is a standalone structure, though.
Okay. I have +4 with that, and I rolled a 17.
A 17 investigation. Sort of looking around for physical traces, you see little sort of like chinks out of the wall here. They're in a pattern. As you really look at them, they're almost treads.
Kind of taking a look around. Is there anyone watching, or can I scale this wall without so much notice?
There is actually quite a bit of traffic now. It's early afternoon, and the shift change is making its way through.
So I turn to the party and, well, there's some evidence here, and here that something climbed up, but do we want to go up and have someone investigate that? It's getting a little busy down here. I'm not sure that the guards are going to take kindly to us running around on rooftops.
I could make a distraction.
Should we try? Ooh, I like that. I was going to say let's wait until nightfall, but that's way faster and more fun.
Oh, well,
I don't mind a good distraction.
I
Sean, you wanna
hate
help?
to
Right.
say it, but some of us might stick out on a rooftop.
Yeah. I didn't want to say it out loud, but I'm trying to make it clear here that might not be a good look for us.
I do look at the giant that is Krav, and I'm just like,
Croft stares back down, like, what are you looking at? Like,
Centaurs are great climbers.
Y'all are weird. I'm a centaur. That's normal. If there's somebody who's a particularly good climber, they can go up alone, particularly if they're quiet. Well, I'd be very
You
loud.
are on the main thoroughfare. You're on
Perhaps
a
we
main
can find,
thoroughfare at a
like-
storefront.
Perhaps we can find a way around back or in an alley that will be less noticeable.
that's a good shout.
Oh, thank you.
Right. I'm okay with doing
let's-
this on... I can scale this wall rather easily. He kind of just, like, taps one of these hand feet against the other one. It's not really a problem. I just want to see how we want to proceed. I can go around the alley and get up there swift-like. I'm pretty quiet in a pinch.
Yeah, well,
Okay, I got you.
How about we the people who can't climb very well, we can go around the block and see if we see anything else that looks funny and maybe talk to someone, and then the people who can climb, they can go see what's going on up there.
I'm usually
That's
pretty
fine.
good at climbing, actually. We do a lot of physical training. It's in my Vadani.
Suni, if you want to join me up on the roof, we can make that happen. Now, Malakar,
Sure.
you seem really keen on making a distraction here. Is that you want to make that happen?
I'll
Yeah,
help.
I'm gonna kind of edge into the alley ever so slightly, so that I'm a little bit visually obscured.
We go behind him in the alley to prepare to climb on top of this roof.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Minor Illusion, which can do sounds, and over on the other end of the street, about 60 feet away, I'm going to have the most loud, explosive, mechanical rend. It sounds like a boiler both exploding and falling apart at the same time. Just echoing across the city block.
So there's this sort of distant explosion and a decompression of a boiler in the distance, and the clanking of gears falling to the ground, and makes it almost like an enormous clockwork wheel sound, like rolling down the middle of the street. Our ears perk up and eyes all turn in the direction, thinking they're about to be run over, or perhaps the next street is.
While
Yep,
that
so
is happening,
Boost Suni up.
Oh, what's Drum got?
I will say, Strum is just like screaming out at the top of his lungs, like, "Oh my God, Jesus! Did you see that? Oh,
roll a performance.
The house is on fire!"
And I'm climbing up after Suni.
Deception, your choice.
Oh, oof, that may not be too good. Thankfully,
Okay.
I'm proficient.
You
But
got
that
it.
is 14.
14. Deception or performance?
That would be performance, of course.
Performance. And you're not proficient. That is sufficient to make majority of the people turn their heads to try and figure out what's going on. There's sort of a crowd gathering right at the entrance to the alley away from the direction you're all going, really helping to obscure. So you may make your stealth climb at advantage.
Ooh, I like that. Please
And,
be better than the last one.
Matt, I would like Malachar to take 1 point of inspiration, please.
Awesome.
Gladly.
So are we rolling stealth to climb, or are we rolling athletics?
Well, I think the
or...
climb was rather easy. It's just if we're doing it
Okay.
stealthy, if I'm understanding that
Gotcha.
right, Deanna?
Yes, you have a vertical
Okay.
move speed. Saniva, you will need to, of course,
I
make a climb
boosted.
check as well.
Yeah, he was
Okay.
boosting me.
Okay,
so
that
that's
will be
a
with the help action.
yeah. So for stealth to make it sneaky, it's a 15 plus 5 stealth because I am proficient. So dirty 20.
Very nice, very nice. You scale right up the side of the building as if you've done so a million times. There may as well have been handholds.
Yep, 22
All right.
on my end.
You are very stealthy on your way up the side of the building. In fact, as you come up over the edge, right on Saniva's heels, she's sort of shocked when she turns around and you're already there. Like, you almost walked right up the side of the building.
Oh, hi.
Didn't even rely on the handholds.
That was very nice.
Yeah, swift and easy. We got to thank Malachar for that little distraction when we get back down there. Can we locate the place I'd investigated earlier and start following wherever that is?
Yeah, so you make your way across the roof to the front of the building and sort of looking out as you're going, and you're noticing that maybe whoever cleaned up did not clean up here. There seems to be a leaking trail of blood. It's not a lethal rate, though. This is, give me an insight check. Or medicine, if you have it.
Ooh.
Do I have medicine? I think it's probably... No, they're the same. Not too bad. Neither are proficient. It's both +1, so...
Okay.
18, I'll take that.
18 is that's total?
Yeah.
After the mod? Okay. So a 17 on the die +1, not proficient. And so you've seen a few wounds in your time. You've made a few wounds in your time.
Couple.
Someone bleeding at this rate thinking at a normal walking pace or carrying pace if you were dragging someone is that you can see there appear to be smears in the blood droplets. You would anticipate that they were losing a fair amount of blood in a decent laceration, but overall they're still alive. Their heart is still pumping. You're several blocks away at this point. It's not probably a grievous wound, and the flow rate does appear to be manageable if you were to staunch it in time. It vanishes over the back wall on the opposite side of the building from where you were, and the blood trail vanishes.
Single trail?
Actually, no. It appears, now that you're looking at it, that potentially there were more than one, but it's really hard to tell.
It's fine. I'd turn to Suni and, well, someone got cut up real good, but not enough to kill him. Blood trail keeps going over this way, potentially more than one victim, which would make sense if it's the parents of that boy. Blood trail ends over here, though. I don't know, you gotta take a look.
It ends like at the end of the rooftop. Was that correct?
It does.
Or okay.
It ends at the end of the rooftop.
Is there another building like right next to it? Is there another building like across the alley, or
It's
an
about
alley, or
15 feet across the alley to the next rooftop.
Well, we could try and check out the next one and see if the trail continues.
I think that's a good way to cover our bases. We can, when we go down and go across, we can check in with the group, let them know what's up.
Do you want to go back down, or should we try and jump across?
You want to try and jump this at 15 feet? I mean, well,
I don't
let's see
know.
you do it.
Sam's
kinda,
not
like,
totally
sit
sure how
back
the
and
jump
just, like,
rules work.
Let's see you do it. I'm
So,
more of a
jump
climber,
rules.
less so of a jumper.
Jump rules are pretty easy. You can jump up to your strength in distance.
Okay.
The total number, not the modifier, by the way.
Yes, total number.
Okay, well,
Alright.
almost 12 feet.
So
yeah, no,
12
I'm
feet
not
is
making that jump.
not going to be. You're not going to. You have a feeling just
Yeah, I
on
can
a
eyeball
gut
it then
check
to
that
know,
you're
right?
not going to be able to jump it.
Okay.
If you're willing to gamble on your athletics, sometimes you can go a little further than that with a good roll.
That's what I
Yes.
wasn't, I wasn't sure if it would be like a roll or just like, that is your limit.
No. So you can use your strength as your jump roll distance, like as a total jump
Right.
distance that you can just do. You can actually
Gotcha.
roll in athletics to do something over the top of that to use your strength modifier to see how many feet you can jump.
It's pretty tempting.
That's a
I wish I had
12
key
strength.
points.
At a 12 strength, that would give you a +1 modifier to a d20 roll to jump 15 feet.
Well,
I'm
would I
still
be
sitting and
making an
waiting.
athletics check, or
It would be an athletics check. All right, you can
because I'm
use
proficient in
acrobatics.
athletics? I'm also proficient in acrobatics. It's pretty tempting.
Acrobatics?
I kind of want to give it a try. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna jump.
You're gonna vault.
Roll a decisive action. Yeah, I'll
All right.
use my spear to vault over.
All right. So you take a running start, and you make you take your spear and you grab it up right up by the blade, and you come running and you sort of pole vault and lunge your way across this thing. Roll your d20.
Come on.
Ooh, natural 19. +5
Natural-
if I do acrobatics. Natural
So
19.
that would give you a
19.
24. Not only did
Oh
you
my
make it, you exceeded by 5, and you make a graceful roll of a landing on the next rooftop.
Three-point
Cyrus is
landing.
thoroughly impressed.
Very well done.
Blown
Very
away.
well done.
Well, looks like she can make that jump. I carefully climb down the backside on the alley.
I'm waving.
About 30
like,
seconds later, Cyrus joins you on the next rooftop. You've caught your breath back by this point.
Yeah. That was
Once
mighty
he's out of
impressive
view,
there.
I'm once he can't see me anymore.
Excellent.
That was mighty
thank you.
impressive.
Thank you very much.
I will maintain your investigation roll because you know what you're looking for, and your insight roll as well. There is no additional blood on this the top of this roof. There are no signs of any climbing up onto the roof here. You can't really find anything associated with the trail.
Turn to Sunine. Well, I think we might want to go get Cat Run and see if she can't find that blood trail again in the air. We know where it ends up on the roof, but I think I still hear Strum yelling.
I thought we were already connected.
Yeah, I think we're all connected.
Yeah, we're good. Hey.
Okay.
Hey, there we go. Hey.
Hey.
Just waiting on Sammy.
I'm here. Sorry.
Your camera is off. Okay, that's right. All right.
I know. So, I'm doing a thing.
We're back. Sorry, we had a brief moment of technical issues there, but
What?
the game must go on. So we were sitting on the rooftops in Midori Park. So we have tracked the crawl to this, the monsters to this location. We don't know that they're crawl yet.
Did somebody slip something?
Did we?
Oh
Did
no!
I mean, I don't know.
No, these look like crawl prints. I don't know about you, but
we did have a nature check.
Changing it right now.
we did have a nature check. That's true. That happened. But I don't think that was ever shared with us, was it?
No, it
The
was
info?
not. I did not say it specifically. The roll wasn't good enough.
Okay.
So, the blood trail vanishes on the rooftop, and you have climbed back down, and you are calling for Katrun, who is
Back right now.
just coming back.
Perfect timing.
It's so crazy seeing you show back up in a scarf because I am sweating. This is so warm in my studio right now.
It's cold up here, and I'm always cold. I have a heater right here, and I have a blanket on as well.
Okay, so you make your way back down into the alley and out into the street, and Malakar's distraction, people seem to be moving on from now that the clanking is gone, and nobody's able to identify what the heck happened. It was like, the heck was that?
I will say Strum would specifically be ushering people at this point, just like, let me show you something. Come on, look, see, it's very big explosion. Oh,
Roll a
it's mad.
performance check.
I can make go boom again.
Ooh, that's a lot better. So that is a 16 plus 5, so 21.
21. People are enraptured by the sound of your voice and care more about it than the explosion. Regale us with a story. Tell us what happened. We can't. Did we miss
Let me tell you about how this went boom. I just tell them the story of the crazy old wizard.
And right about that time, as the crowd really gets sucked into the heat of your story, Katrun, Cyrus comes over and taps you on the shoulder, and him and Suniva have come back down the back of the building and found you in the street.
Mm-hmm. First, I look out, point out towards Strum. How long has that been going on?
Oh, well, a couple minutes. They're really good at this. I've just been kind of watching people. Yeah. They're really interested in them. I don't understand. It's some sort of magnetism or something, or maybe they're just so loud that people can't help but pay attention to them. I'm not sure. Anyways, what did you need?
Yeah, we tracked that blood all the way to the edge of the roof over here and then lost the trail. I was wondering if that fantastic nose of yours could pick that up again.
Oh, well, the nose always knows. All right, let's go.
Oh, no.
I've been hanging there for a while.
You should have known. You should have known.
As we turn to leave, I do yell out for Strum. Strum, we're heading down this way. You want to wrap it up, buddy?
I'll be right there.
Fantastic.
Finish ushering people, and I just.
But how did the story end? No, we always miss out on everything in my story.
That's the best part of a story. Make your own ending.
Oh no.
Krav is trotting right next to, probably actually at a walking pace, next to Strum because he's sprinting.
So you make your way back down the alley and identify the pickup of the trail. It's very easy for you, Katrina. You've got a scent for the victims and for the trail of where it was and the blood in the air. And you continue your trail, and it leads to the edge of the Dead Bridge Chasm. Off of a sheer cliff. Thousands of feet down into the darkness.
Yeah.
I stop right where it is and I point down and I say, yeah, it goes there. I point with my nose. Let's see. It's there.
Of course it does. Big, scary chasm with a big, scary name.
I can't get down there.
Take a picture a little bit.
Want to either.
What, you don't want to make a climb check for that?
Nope.
I do. May I utilize these stupid feet again?
You are remarkably unsurprised and unperturbed by a 1,000-foot fall. And you know you can just literally walk down the face of this thing without any challenge.
What?
Strum.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Strum.
Hello there. Yeah, how can I help?
Do you think we could maybe figure out some tunnels that go under and get us a little more roundabout, get down there, but less of a straight fall in Kasplat mode?
Oh, I'm sure we could figure something out. How much do you know about the area around here?
This is Golgari territory, through and through. But it's all on the foundation built by, the Zet League. So maybe we could figure it out through that.
That's a good question. Maybe the DM could help us with our engineering skill.
Maybe.
Actually, as you're sitting here discussing this, out of nowhere, you hear, brr, 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 and a centaur comes charging up and grabs Suniva from the edge and pulls her back.
Whoa.
Don't, it's not worth it.
Whoa, easy here, fella. Whoa.
Hey.
Hang on now.
Hey, you're flirting with my friend, okay? Especially not trying to
What's going on?
Trying to throw her off a cliff.
It's not worth it. Don't jump.
I wasn't going to jump. But thank you very much for caring. That is very sweet. Who are you? My name is Suniva.
I'm Naraka.
Naraka, hello.
It stands before you a 7'2" tall female. I'm sorry, I totally misread that. Tremera, the centaur. They stand there in front of you, and they sort of look confused and relieved and happy at the same time. So, I'm Tremera, and I'm so sorry. I'm always making mistakes like that. I know it's a wonderful.
Don't worry, I do the
but
same kind of thing all the time.
but then you. Okay, well, stares deeply into your eyes.
Well,
this day just took a turn for the better.
You look.
What a moment.
Something was drawing me to you, and I thought that it was you needed help, but I'm forever confused.
Oh, perhaps the voice of
No, God.
Celestia was guiding you to us. The world
No,
soul
God's
knows what
always
connects us
lying.
all, after all.
If you're gonna be okay, then, what are you doing? Why are you drawn here? Why am I drawn to you?
Oh, I don't know, but
It's
we are
from
here.
animal magnetism.
Oh, perhaps. But we are all here together, all of us here with a purpose to try and set things to right. So perhaps the world soul has sent you here as well to try and bring some peace to the people of this district.
It's so good to hear the voice of a true believer.
Oh, you are a true believer as well in the power of the world soul?
She breaks out they break out their guild insignia, and they are Celestia as well.
Ah, this is most wonderful. It is so wonderful to meet you. My friend Katrin and I here, we are both members of the Celestia Conclave, and we are trying to set things to right. So clearly we are on the right path for all of us to have met together now.
Yes, what is your path? This is... What is your path?
You can't see it, but I was following it.
Oh yeah, she was smelling our path.
Oh, so it's a literal path.
Sometimes.
You're sharing a lot of details here with someone that we don't really know. I understand that they share the same insignia
I was
as
just
you.
saying I was smelling it.
They are a member of the family as far as I am concerned. They are a true believer in the voice of the world soul and Mark Celestias, and as far as I'm concerned, we have no secrets to keep.
All right, Suni. I'll take your word for it.
I don't do insight checks.
I love it.
I don't trust like that.
I would insight mine
I got a
at
pretty good
5.
wisdom too, so...
No, I like doing insight checks because then it tells me what my character thinks. Because I think one thing, the character thinks a different thing. So I do insight checks to see what they think.
Yeah.
Suniva trusts everybody. So.
Perfect.
This is odd company. You are all of mixed guilds, and this is... I think I may have stumbled into something bad.
No, not at all.
I think I should be going. I won't tell anyone I saw you here. Okay.
But if you were drawn here, then perhaps you are meant to join with us. Do you know anything about these people who have been going missing lately? We hear, it happens all the time in this area, but there have been some weird situations going on about, and we are trying to help figure it out. So perhaps this is your purpose and your path.
Yes, I've been looking into things. Is that maybe what the World Sword has directed me to you for?
Yes, I think that is so.
Yes. I was planning on staking it out after dark tonight, and I don't know where.
Maybe we should go talk somewhere else rather than right here.
So, standing on the edge of the abyss, you actually have some modicum of privacy, as there's nobody standing really within hundreds of yards of you.
Yeah, but the fact that we're just standing here on the edge of the abyss talking, it really feels like it might be out of place. So we should probably go somewhere else so we're not as noticeable.
You could go down the chasm.
Nope.
I will admit,
Remember what she just said? I'm smart.
Quite scary, though.
Me too.
Krav, what do you think is we should do here?
Krav definitely does not trust this other centaur who just ran up behind Suniva saying, "Oh, I'm here to help you." Her arms are crossed, but she kind of is taking her neutral stance. She's not much of a decision maker, so she trusts more Cyrus's opinion than maybe Suniva's opinion. So she's definitely silently siding with Cyrus's ideas.
The skeptic side.
Yeah.
Can't always trust these tree hugger types, all right? Sometimes they're nefarious.
I agree.
See, this is
Have
why
you ever
Guild
met
Wars
a
start.
nefarious tree?
I mean, I gotta be honest. I'll take.
Yes,
I'll be honest. I'll
actually,
take
yes.
Roltar over Slesnatar any day.
So, you make your way to somewhere a little more private. Where would you go for privacy in Midori Park? Or how will you garner privacy?
At the very least, like a place that it doesn't look so outlandish for us to be standing and congregating. Like at least like go to an alley
Or
or
a bar nearby. Or
yeah, something.
Actually,
Are we like late
So
afternoon now?
You're right
Day
across the
drinking.
bridge, which is really only maybe 1,800 to 2,000 feet long. You're right across the bridge across the chasm, and on the other side of that is Wayport, which is an area of commerce. It's a market, a bazaar.
okay.
So there are many places for anonymity there, but this is more of the stocking and warehousing and residential neighborhood. Not as many businesses here.
Over there.
I mean, the privacy here seems good enough, but if you guys need to move over there, let's go.
Yeah.
Sure, this sounds reasonable.
Maybe we can find somewhere that has some ale, somewhere that's got like benches outside or something, where we can just.
Rob's
sit and...
ears perk up at the sound of ale. She's like,
Oh, see,
I'm
you're
gonna go for
interested
an
too.
outdoor brew.
Yeah.
Your reaction immediately catches Tremera's like look with the ears perking up.
Yeah, I know a great place right across the bridge. Let's go. Let's go.
And sort of like almost 3/4 steps, like leading and holding back at the same time, leading you across into Wayport, where you come to a nice open air cafe, and there's a human waiter that comes out, and he speaks to you, and he has a very deep voice. It sounds a little smoky, and he would like to take your order today. What is it that I can get for you?
He also sounds very seductive too.
I like this guy.
That depends on who you are. Yes,
I
it's
think we're
throaty
all
and
into this
belty
guy.
voice.
Oh, no, I'm not interested. Thank you. But
He's a pink skin.
I'll take some ale.
Right. So we
Rob
have-
raises her hand. Her big old fist of a hand is like, me too. Yeah.
On me.
Right.
Do you have any tea?
I've got an excellent porter, and yes, we do have some rather fragrant teas. Do you prefer the spicy or the fruity?
Oh, fruity tea sounds most perfect. Thank you.
Yes, I will bring it right away.
Well, I'll take one of those ales and then a shot of the worst stuff you've got on tap. Bottom of the
yeah, I
barrel.
wanted that.
Yes, and I shall bring your tab out straight away. And he ventures off towards the back and sort of leads you and gestures off to a table on the way back. It's a nice table. It's actually overlooking the chasm as well, and there's nobody seated nearby. It's sort of a late afternoon at this point, somewhere between shift change and supper time. So there's not really a whole lot of traffic coming across the bridge. But the hubbub of the bazaar is actually really starting to pick up. The streets are very lively, and the noise of the crowd does provide a sufficient background to deaden any noise maybe overhearing you from within 20 feet. outside of 20 feet away. There is one table on the edge of maybe 20 feet away, so some hushed voices you estimate would probably keep your talk of a sufficient discreet nature. You sit down. They have centaur accessible benches, and
I like that.
And
good. Good.
the service is
You
prompt.
don't just hang out.
You don't. You move a stool aside and you move up.
Yeah, you walk up to the table.
I
Now
love
are
it.
accessible.
So the table is actually bi-level. It's a little bit taller for centaurs on one edge. And you're seated, and that's what a centaur accessible bench is. It's a raised platform on the table.
Yeah,
Wonderful. I love it. We've got canon already.
I love it.
As soon as Catherine sits down, she opens up a cloth in her lap and starts doing a ritual casting of detect poison and disease in like a little... She has like a little miniature like on the go kit essentially that she just starts doing in her lap and starts doing the little ritual and casting
So
it.
your hot tea and your drinks show up maybe 45 seconds after sitting down. They are prompt in their service. And
Fantastic
Suniva
service.
keeps reaching for the tea, but you're like casting your ritual for a full 10 minutes. You just keep batting your hand away. Like, no. You gotta be tested. But
Just
I
like
mean,
a little
you
kid, like waiting.
You can drink it if you want to, but I'm not.
I'm gonna drink it.
Cyrus downs the shot and starts drinking the other thing.
after you finish your ritual, you do note that all of the alcohol is a mild toxin, which is, come to think of it, not that surprising. The tea has a slight toxin to it that seems to have been purified out for the most part, and based on preparation has been rendered primarily inert. But there is a bit of a numbing sensation as you're drinking your fruit tea on your tongue, and it's
really
quite
good.
pleasant. So Tremera orders just a plain draft of the dark porter. It's smoky and frothy, and is gone before your tea is even cool, even starts to cool. So I think we've been, Suniva. I think that we may have been drawn here for a reason. These disappearances are most unnatural. This is not the way of things. I mean,
No, it's very strange.
things come out at night. It's Midori. But this isn't normal. They're all happening so centralized, and they're going into the chasm. Normally it's the undead that walk at night here, and the poor unfortunate victims generally are found in the morning, left where they died. This was clean. This was violent, and their bodies keep leading to the chasm. This isn't the undead. I think we should wait until nightfall.
Okay, do you have any idea of a good way for us all to be able to get down into the chasm after night? I mean, as you can tell, not everybody is as good at climbing as some others of us. So if there's some way that we could all get down there together, I think that would be best.
I'm not going into the chasm, though. Do you see those weird carapace things? They're gonna... The Golgari are not to be trusted. They'd soon as eat you, as look at you. Have you heard the way they talk? They don't even speak common. It's I shouldn't be speaking this way. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. No, Oh, but if we all stay together, I think it will be fine.
I was thinking, we'll camp out in Midori. Wait for them to come out. All of them happen right in the same block.
Oh, they are happening that close together. I did not realize it was so close. Oh, okay. Perhaps this is a good idea then. And then if we can stop them before they even get to the chasms, then, you know, all for the best, yeah?
I knew about this a couple days ago, and I've been trying to get up the courage to wait. But I'm not a fighter. I can't fight. I'm fear.
I have some distinct concerns about this, though. The longer we wait, we promised that little boy we'd try to find his parents. The longer we wait, the more danger that they are in. We don't even know where they are right now. Now, we can wait longer, and they might be dead. Or we can figure out how to get down there, and it looks like maybe they go up through the sewers anyways, and we can go after them now.
Is there a way from the sewers, you think, into the chasm?
Originally, when we had been looking at the blood trail and some of the damage over by the house, the sewer grate over there had seen significant amounts of use.
This seems like as good of an idea as any, and if then we don't have to wait until nightfall and we can hurry, perhaps we will find something. Perhaps we will find another trail down in the sewers.
That would be my hope, yes.
Underground in Bulgari territory is dangerous. I am totally excited.
Rob nods.
I'm not. I'll wait up here.
That's fine. I think you should stick to your plan that you just proposed. Now, if we don't find anything, we'll come find you before nightfall.
You seem much stronger than I am. I'll wait. I'll help. And I'll keep lookout. And your drinks are on me.
Oh,
we do
appreciate it. So kind of
Thank
you. Thank you.
I feel bad now. I ordered like 30 zennies of coffee.
At least somebody's gonna do something. And if you wait tonight, I'll be here.
Yeah, this sounds perfect. And you know, if for whatever reason we do not see you tonight, you should perhaps go and alert one of the Celestia conclaves that Suniva has failed in the mission, and then perhaps they will know something to do.
Maybe we shouldn't tell them quite yet. If we don't come back, they'll figure it out.
I figure, at least like a day, yeah?
Sometimes things take however long they take. So maybe we should just not send out any notifications, just in case,
The underground is
you are so smart.
Hey, after 3 days, I'm dead, and then you come back after 5. You're like, hey, you're not dead. Which is, I guess, a really good surprise, but
yeah.
Suniva, don't worry about it too much. Matt Slesny will probably know anyway.
This is true. I would know if anything. This is a good idea. Very good point. Yeah. Okay. So then we will go into the sewers and mess some stuff up and solve the case. Good
well,
plan.
We hope so. Yes, that's a great plan.
All right.
Sure. Why not?
Drink.
I'm rooting for you.
Yeah, same. Knock it back.
Have another one on me. I've friends
fan.
over here.
Yes.
Sounds good to
Hand me a double, barkeep. Yeah. All right.
Okay. So, you say send you a double?
Yeah, I had a little shot before. I want 2 now. Let's
Yeah, no, they come right out. And you down them right away. And at 3 shots, I would like a con save to see if you are intoxicated.
Here we go.
Probably.
Now we're gonna figure out if he can hold his liquor.
Get it.
Nope. Hang on.
What was your roll?
What's my con here? Hang on. +2 on the con, so. Oh, that's a 6. That is a healthy 6.
That is a nope.
There are people.
More
Sorry,
technical
that was-
difficulties.
Yeah, it's all right. Hi.
Hello.
Bye. Hi. Hello. Welcome back.
That's so funny.
You were replaced momentarily by someone else. I'm sorry.
Interesting.
Polymorph.
My internet's being really unstable today, and I'm really confused by it. Because normally it's fine.
No, that wasn't you.
That was
that
Marcy
wasn't
Bell.
Definitely briefly polymorphed to
next
Marcy.
We had a guest star of Marcy Bellin, and we shall have to credit her now. For the confused half-elf that came walking by and overheard part of your conversation and then pretended immediately to be uninterested and walked away.
Yeah, these transdimensional portals that just like
That was
you know,
so funny.
yeah, so I rolled a
So-
6 on that con save though.
Yeah, so you note that after a few moments that you are mildly intoxicated. You feel like you can play it off, but it's definitely something they can smell. People would be able to smell in your breath. You've reached the first level of intoxication.
Good. I'd love to play it off for as long as possible.
I love it. So, you are headed back towards the. Sounds like the party has a plan to head back over towards Midori Park and find your way down into the sewers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You make your way back to the street with relative ease. It's just off the main thoroughfare. And the guards, you recall, are sort of staring at you as this group is back out front of this house where they've been shooed from, and there is a particularly irate Minotaur staring at Cyrus.
You're welcome.
As we approach, I lean over to Malakar and you think you could yeah, I'm thinking that. We need to get down in that grate. It ain't gonna be quiet. I need something that lets us get down there. We gotta move a centaur down into the sewers. This isn't gonna be easy.
Yeah, I was gonna
I got an
say,
idea.
is there any possible way that I could even get through?
You are
Much
all
less
medium,
than-
so you can technically make it.
Okay.
So,
Heard that in
in
glares of
fact,
Malakar, what-
Some physics.
This will be a
I'm
this
gonna-
will be a fun mechanic to explore centaur climbing. It is specifically addressed in the book. So
here we go.
let's see how this plays out.
I put my hands on Strum's shoulders, so I get down. So, Strum,
What?
have you ever been to a Rakdos festival?
No.
That's okay. You're good at improvising.
His face just goes, ah? Okay.
Someone stand in front of me. I don't want them to see me casting.
Well, it ain't gonna be me. They
I
keep
walk
watching me. I
by-
kind of stand off to the side. So they watch
I walk
me
behind
move.
the centaur.
Rob definitely scoots over, yeah, and stands and just like, here? You want me here?
That's good. It's good. It's good. Sorry about that.
Ring ring.
Paging Dr. Malakar. Paging Dr. Malakar.
Oh, he is not a doctor. Not even approaching.
Just has the credentials paperwork, but they're not real.
Yeah. Maybe I could see that.
That's a
Taking the
physics
battery to
degree,
my
not. Okay, so
What are you doing
all
to
right.
me?
So, what is this
Okay.
terrible distraction plan?
All right, so I'm gonna make noises again. This time it's going to be of a Rakdos blood festival because they have like these rolling, running riot carnivals that roll through the city at times. Just like
Mhm.
rolling through the city a block away. I'm gonna try to maybe cast it a few times to make the sound move so that if they go towards it, they don't get there. Or if they go away, that's fine. It can chase them.
Yeah, the Boros, they're not a big fan of the Rakdos celebrations.
No. Neither are the Azorius. And I figure Strum can help add like vocals or something. I don't know what he's got.
Okay.
That's something to be said for a good paint artist, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I do that.
Okay,
Now,
so
Krav, when this goes off, we got to be ready to move that grate. All right.
I just do it.
So there is a ruckus coming from the next street over, and there's a loud trumpeting and strumming and beating of war drums. The sound of a trundling cart goes rolling down the street on the next block over. Screams of tormented victims and the sighs of pleasure are audible an entire block away. The guards immediately snap to attention and about face and start marching down the alleys in that direction. The Minotaur, however, who is suspicious of the party, gets an insight check.
Curry, before you make any rolls, though, Strum is going to like pick up some dirt from the ground. He's going to sooty up his face a little bit, and he's just going to rush out, looking as disheveled as possible, as though he's been attacked and ripped apart by these fiends, these monstrous beasts, and he's just going to be like wailing in terror, just. My baby! They took my baby!
So the Minotaur from earlier rolled really well on her insight check, and immediately levels a Bardache into your face. Aren't you that fella from earlier?
I don't know what you're talking about. They took my baby.
You have a metal lute. That is not something you see every day. I would recognize you.
But my baby.
Uh-oh.
I can't sleep on the Minotaur.
Roll a deception, or cast sleep. I mean,
roll deception first.
Let's see as deception go off. I'm curious.
Let's do deception first.
There's no way this is gonna work.
Well, unfortunately, I will admit I am not. I don't have proficiency in deception. Ooh. That is a 9.
A 9.
Oh, great roll.
Yeah, that already recognized and didn't have a baby earlier, plus a 9. Also being a Zet and her being a Boros, this is not a great combination of faith.
Can we share a color?
Share a color. Okay.
It's red.
The guard puts the Bardache in your face and starts edging you back towards the alley. Assume the position. We're taking you in.
Malachar might be a good time.
So
do a little
just
bit
to be
of
clear,
trick
it's just this one guard. The rest of them left, right?
Yes, the rest of them are gone, and the guard's back is to you as Strum is being cornered into the alley at weapon.
Also, Krav, let's go open this thing.
So sleep's a weird spell. I target an area. In this case, I'm just getting this one person. I roll 5d8, and if that value equals or exceeds the Minotaur's remaining hit points, it falls unconscious for 1 minute. And you start with the lowest HP creature in the area, and then go down from there. But I'm just doing one person, so it's just, do I roll high enough? Whew. Okay. That's not a good. That's not a good sound from Corey, but these are good numbers on the dice.
Okay.
34.
Oh, that's hot. I like that.
That's a great number. Yes, she does sort of grab her pike and like start to slump and nod. You see her horns bowing around, and suddenly she just falls on top of her Bardache. It's laying underneath her, and she is disarmed and prone. And in
Strum, let's go.
We got 1 minute. Move. We got 1 minute. Move.
Yeah.
All right.
Krav and I are gonna go hoist the thing.
So
Or hoist the
Great check. I need a
Really
strength
quickly.
check.
Okay, so with help?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Here we
Really
go.
quickly, before they do this, I want to druid craft some moss around their ears to help muffle the sound.
That's fun. That's fun.
So they don't
I like
hear the
that.
grate breaking. I love it.
Okay. Around the
ears of the person that's asleep. The Minotaur.
Earmuffs.
the Minotaur.
of moth.
The guard. So the guard is wearing disadvantage on sound perception checks at this point.
Excellent.
All right, let's do this. Lift. 3,
Come on,
2,
Grog.
1. Ah! Oh. Yeah, it's a 15.
Okay.
That is efficient. You with the assistance of your compatriots, you are able to grab this massive iron grate that's maybe 4 or 5 feet across, about almost maybe even a little over 5 feet across, and it's almost like an access hatch more than a sewer grate. And you pick it up and slide it off the side. It makes this horrible grating metal sound across the cobblestones and leaves massive skid marks. And looking at it, you're not sure how this hasn't happened before, if it was lifted out of the way. Descending into the darkness below is an iron bar ladder, about 1.5 feet wide. The darkness, those of you with dark vision can see well below you. The ladder disappears beyond your visual field. It descends a long ways down.
Okay.
Heading in.
Let's go.
Doing it. Doing it. I'll take
How sturdy
point.
does this
I got a quick
ladder
climb.
look?
Okay, so it is slimy. I will need climb checks.
Oh.
How sturdy?
Or a ladder.
does
That's
it
a really
look?
slimy ladder.
Yeah.
Can
Oh my
I
God,
make it
climbing
as
the ladder.
Can you
So-
druidcraft the slime away?
I think it takes time to do that stuff,
No,
right?
no.
It's a cantrip.
No.
Prestidigitation would do it if you did one rung at a time.
So would
Yeah.
3 days
Um,
later.
Is
We
this
don't have
athletics or
that kind of time. We just gotta
Sorry,
do it.
would-
Start rolling.
Yeah,
this
athletics
be-
or acrobatics?
Yeah, that's my
Your
question.
choice. It's your choice.
Thank God. Okay.
Do I have any
Better-
assistance for
Oh,
the
it's athletics, baby.
hand feet?
What's that?
Do I have any assistance
actually,
in
Cyrus,
having my
do
hand
not
feet?
have to roll.
Oh, that's nice.
You have a climb
Okay.
speed. Very specifically,
Nice.
if you have a climb speed, you never have to make a climb check.
Okay. I'm heading down the
All
ladder.
right. All right. Cyrus takes the lead down the ladder. Strum, you are immediately behind.
I got 18.
18. You sufficiently descend into the darkness out of sight of the rest of the party. Katroon.
So I have a question. How
means a
sturdy
bad
does
roll.
this ladder look?
Reasonably sturdy.
Okay, because I'm 300 pounds. So
Maybe
Fair.
not that sturdy. Do you want to wait until go down the ladder one at a time? Maybe one person goes down and tells the party
yeah.
it's safe to go down.
I mean, I'm
1
already
minute.
moving, right?
Um,
I go pretty quick. I can get
Yeah,
down there.
Katrin would probably wait until everybody else has gone down, because taking one look at that ladder, she'd be like, I might break that.
Yeah, Krov's definitely going last. 'Cause she weighs a whopping, like, 1,300 pounds.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Centaurs are horses.
1,400?
She's like a horse with a person on top. So she's
I'm an
gigantic.
elephant.
Yeah, because the weight range in the character description, it was like 1,000 to 2,000. I was like, I'll pick something in the middle.
Wow.
Horses.
Lots of muscles. Okay.
Yeah,
Katroon.
all right.
Uh,
So I guess I'll go next then. Or is somebody else?
How long
I
does it
will
take me
go.
to get to the bottom?
I got a
Hi.
21 to climb down.
Malachar,
rolled a
you
9.
make your way down nimbly, and the three of you land at the bottom. Saniva, with the 9, you
A very
sort of
graceful
just-
9.
You've slipped a few times and caught yourself. Yeah, your like foot falls off and you like catch yourself with your hands and
It's like when you miss a step when you're like going up.
yes. And you make your way much slower after that point, and when you're maybe 20 feet from the bottom, and your arms are fragile and shaking, and you're sort of getting there, but not quite, and then your feet slip, and your foot goes through the rungs, and your hands can't catch you, and you fall into a pool of water. When you come back to the surface, you realize it's not just water, and you see Cyrus and Strum and Malakar standing around you, looking at you, really concerned, because they didn't realize when they stepped off the ladder, there was a continuation down through the water as the ladder continued to descend that you landed in.
Oh.
Ooh.
Well, is this was convenience?
That was an 11.
That is sufficient. You do make your way down the ladder.